It's 1 a.m. here in London, and I had to get up from my bed to make this video. And we're gonna have to get a little bit serious for this one, guys. I'm sorry. Hello, my beautiful subscribers. Welcome to my channel. Rasa the dancer is here, and today we're gonna have a conversation about a topic that actually so far I still haven't heard anybody have in public, and I consider this as public as it can get. So we're gonna talk about basically the things that are inappropriate on the dance floor. Usually everybody considers dancing to be really friendly and everybody's like a family, and most of the time it is, but there are a lot of things that are happening around that are slightly inappropriate, and I don't think a lot of people talk about it. And the reason I'm making this video 1 a.m. in the morning is because I just talked with one girl that shared her story with me, and as I was sitting in bed, I had to make a video. So we're gonna have to get a bit serious, but I think it's an important topic. Look through the 5 points that I'm gonna make, and please have a conversation with me. Don't leave me hanging. And of course, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of content that is a lot about everything, but this one, guys, is my 5 things of the inappropriate things that happen in the scene that should not happen. Let's see how it goes. Number 1, dancing is just dancing. Dancing close, sexually and sensually is still just dancing. It is not a signal for anything. Now, let me elaborate a little bit and then jump in the comments and let me know how you feel about it. I'm gonna be talking universally. I'm not gonna be naming any names. It wasn't just one girl that I talked to. It was many women that actually came up and talked to me about this. But this happens also, I know, with men. Just men tend to keep it inside, and maybe it happens, of course, less with men in such a dramatic way, but it still happens. So I'm not going to be saying women, men. I will be talking in general, because I believe everybody goes through something, and this is just in general. It should be just a rule that dancing is just dancing. Now, what happens sometimes, again, this is not the norm, but it happens. A lot of the times, a little bit more with bachata now, that bachata sensual came in play, and a little bit less with salsa. I would say in general, when you're dancing and you're dancing so close and there's so many moves that require you to be touching, and different positions that require a leader to touch a hip, or a woman to hold tight, and so many different positions that are actually very close and sensual, sometimes can bring out the feelings of it being the real thing, like the real chemistry or whatever that is. That is not the case. It is just a dance. So happened in the 21st century. We are a little bit more open-minded, and we hug more, and there's so many things. That does not mean in no way, shape, or size or form that it is allowed for you to go any further than that. So that's my tip well, not tip, it's the point. There's no tips, it's a rule, okay? It's not a tip. You are not supposed to act upon it. If you feel like acting upon it, you're supposed to say to that person, hey, I'm getting a vibe, are you getting it too? Then the person has a possibility to respond yay or nay, and then you can go from there, right? And if it's a nay, it's a nay. Just thought I'll put it out there. But it happens a lot of the times now. The people watching videos and couples dancing together, teachers, instructors demonstrate all kinds of sexual energy, and it's all fair dues, because it seems obvious that you shouldn't do it if it's not your partner, but not a lot of people apparently get it. So that's a very important point. Dancing and having sexual thoughts about the person you're dancing with, it's okay. To act upon it, it is not, okay? We are all humans. We might feel a little twinkle here and there. You are not supposed to act upon it. There is no exception to the rule. If you think there should be, you speak. You don't do, assuming that that's okay. All right. Now, I personally have to mention this as well. I consider myself a very strong character. I've been through a lot when I was very young. So now I'm at the stage in my life where I'm dancing and I know exactly how to respond to any situation. I also been around in the dance scene to see it all. So I know exactly how things work. So for me, it's easier to have a response when something inappropriate happens. And a lot of the time, a lot of inappropriate things don't happen to me because it's written on my face that it can't. Like, usually people who prey on others, they feel some sort of energy. They feel like, oh, maybe, that person is new to the scene, so I can, be a bit more whatever. However, so it's hard for me to say that I know exactly how it feels because I respond to things differently and it doesn't happen to me as it would happen maybe to somebody else. That said, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So if you are a person who's watching this and you think this has never happened to me, not to my friends, and this is it's probably one person, or no, it happens a lot. It's just if you're the person who handles themselves slightly differently and going through a different experience, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen to somebody else. So you have to be really aware, have these conversations. Make sure anytime you feel uncomfortable with the dancing, you are able to verbalize yourself, you are able to talk to somebody, or even think within yourself, is it my insecurities or is it actually inappropriate, right? Or if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. But I again, once and for all will say this, dancing and feeling sexual chemistry does not allow you to go any further. If you want to go any further, you have to verbalize yourself to that person and be really, really clear about it. There you go. Number 2, if you want to go on a date with somebody, that is absolutely fine. You ask somebody on a date, but you have to be really clear of your intentions. That I think should be like a rule in life, not just dancing. Be honest, people. If you cannot have a date by being honest and saying I just want sex, then and nobody wants to have sex with you, maybe you should rethink your personality. I'm sorry. I don't know. My point is, be straight. There is people who want exactly the same things as you. You don't need to lie your way into situations that you want to be into. Okay? Does that make sense? Again, jump in the comments, sabotage me if you want. But I truly believe in that. And it's more important in the dance scene. Now, why is that? Because a lot of the time people do come to the dance scene because they want to meet somebody. Where else are we going to go and meet somebody? It's so normal. You go dancing, you're dancing a bit closer. It gives you an opportunity to immediately have a conversation with somebody, whether in the class, whether on the dance floor, whether afterwards when you're having a drink. So it gives a perfect opportunity to meet somebody. However, a lot of people, when they want to meet somebody, they actually want to date somebody on a regular basis and maybe potentially have a boyfriend-girlfriend experience. And if you are in a position where you're asking somebody on a date and your implication is to have sex with somebody and never see them again, what happens is creates a situation where if the intention is not clear, some feelings gets hurt and then the scene gets a little bit poisoned. Does that make sense? So if you're having, a wonderful time with somebody on a dance floor, you really like them and you want to invite them to sleep over, you have to be clear that, just to be clear, we're just having a little bit of fun, you feel the same way. And then if that person just, I'm cool and, we'll see, we'll take it from there, great. But if you're going there, asking somebody to sleep over, and then the other person, maybe had a few drinks, and they think they're just gonna go and maybe cuddle, and then you push for something more. You see what I'm saying? And then suddenly it becomes a thing, and then the thing might become something that one person might regret, and the other person might be upset, and it's the whole thing. So dating is fine. Asking somebody on a date is absolutely fine. All I'm saying is have your intentions clear. If you want to sleep around, there's nothing wrong with it. Sleep around, but sleep around with the other people who wants to sleep around. Don't trick people into false expectation, and don't cause yourself any trouble, and don't hurt some souls. There you go. Okay, I'm at the point number 3 and I feel hot. This is a dangerous video. Guys, I think it's important video. So whatever happens, I think I did the right thing. Anywho, let's continue. So my point number 3 is this. Do not touch somebody places where you wouldn't touch your sister or brother. Okay? Now, my point is, there is certain moves that require you to be in certain positions, and you will know them if you go to classes. Okay? If you just come and you look at somebody do something and then you try to mimic, you don't know the actual right positions. So then, if you're the person who doesn't go to the classes and you don't know the right positions and you're just mimicking, don't touch somebody if you wouldn't touch your brother or sister that way. Okay? Just be safe. Okay? There's positions where you put the hands on the hips, that's absolutely fine. But if you're going down below, come on. Yes? Or there's positions where you place your hand here in order to do body movement or something. Yes? But you wouldn't place it where everything goes, you know? Come on. So this is a good little framework to have. Yes? Mama, papa, brother, sister, you know. Can I do this with anybody? Can I have a dance? You see a lot of the times now leaders dancing with leaders, followers dancing with followers, women with women, men with men, right? So everybody should be able to dance with everybody, this dance without it being weird. This is the framework. When you're dancing with somebody, can I touch these places? Visualize somebody that you wouldn't want to touch that way, and you'll be fine. Number 4, talk to your teachers, any teacher. Now, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of confusion, and a lot of painful moments happen from not understanding what is appropriate and what is not. That's why you need to talk to your teachers. Anytime something happens, you go to your teacher, or even if it's not something happens, anytime you see some moves on YouTube or you see your friends dancing, you can come to your teacher and say, look, like this move, is that like okay? Is that what we do? So you would know what to expect. If you are a beginner, if you are not familiar with the scene, you're coming into the dance scene, and you suddenly are overwhelmed with how close people are. It gives you possibly 2 reactions. First, you refuse, like, what is this? And everything becomes an insult and everything is inappropriate. But if you talk to your teachers and they explain where these things coming from, where the moves come from, the history behind it, development of the dance, you will understand that it's not inappropriate. A lot of the positions, there's actually is part of the dance, and is for you to choose whether you want to choose this dance or not. If you feel like this dance should be danced differently, maybe you should choose a different dance. Does that make sense? So a lot of confusion from people who come new into the scene and they haven't been around. They get offended, rightfully so. You are entitled to be offended. However, the scene is not necessarily bad all the time. It's just when you don't know where the moves come from, everything seems too much. But when you know the history behind the moves, you know the movement and the detail and the technique that requires to execute this move, that certain positions wouldn't be able to be executed otherwise, you become a little bit more open-minded. Or if that seems like still an inappropriate dance, you then choose a different dance. Now, said that, also, if you feel comfortable with all of the positions, but there's still moments that felt like I'm so open and comfortable with all kinds of things, and that felt uncomfortable. Again, talking to your teacher will put things to rest. Was it the actual feeling that is, maybe came from the energy that the other person gave you, and that is wrong. Maybe it was too much. Maybe the position wasn't right. And suddenly, talking to the experts of the dance, you will understand more about the dance, and then you can stand up for what is right for you. So it's super important. Point number 4 is to talk as much as possible to the professionals that know about the dance in order to set up an understanding about the dance, and also to know where your comfort lies in. Number 5, I would like to say attend more classes. Everybody should be attending classes. If you dancing less than 5 years, you should be attending classes constantly. Things progressing, things are changing, and I'm not talking just about the dance, it's the way we communicate. Things are changing, what names we call each other. Things are changing in terms of now it's more appropriate to say leaders, followers rather than men and women. It's so many things are changing. So it's not just the dance. Like you might be like, oh, I know everything there is to know about bachata for me to have a good time. But the whole perception and how we treat each other is changing. Attend as many classes as you can. Teachers, those who teach on regular basis, they are exposed constantly to so many people, so many opinions, so many critiques, so many things that are happening within the people. We are adjusting constantly. We are adjusting our perspective. Even I adjusted my teaching so much because it's the right thing to do. We know every day more about our relationships between each other, our women-men relations, many different things. So attending classes is not just that you would be a better dancer. It keeps you in a loop of what's going on. Now and then, even if it's not a regular class, if you've been dancing for a long time, jump in now and then, see what's up, see what's new going on. So I think that's super important. My number 5, go to classes and just learn the techniques and learn the culture of dance as much as possible. Speak to your peers, see what people are comfortable with these days and what is unacceptable. Go one by one cases, everybody's different. So I think that is very important, and that is my number 5. Thank you guys so much for watching this. As I say, I apologize that this one is a little bit more serious, but I do believe it's an important topic. Please let me know in the comments how you feel. I hope you approve of me making this video, and if you don't, I hope it reaches somebody that needs to hear this, because as I say, I have conversations with some people, and I believe this is an important message to say. I do the best I can, and if you think I haven't mentioned something, make sure you let me know. Guys, I say everything with love. Everything comes from the best place in my heart, so we can have a wonderful time dancing. And if you want to keep improving your knowledge on dance, you can check out these videos as well. It talks about other things in the scene that's going on. Check them out and see how you feel. And if you haven't subscribed, do it now, please.